What is good, everybody? Welcome to this episode of Sunday Talk, aka Donda Talk, because Donda fucking dropped. Um,
Woohoo!
I have not heard it at all. I didn't even know it dropped until we hopped on this call. But y'all wanted to talk about it, so what's y'all's first thoughts on the album?
All right, Carson, I'll take it away to begin with. Since I've
Go
been
right
here on the
ahead,
East
bro.
Coast, had a little bit of time to listen to it already. We got some absolute bangers on there. The beginning though was kind of dry. I was kind of like really unimpressed with the album the first couple songs listening through, and then it started to speed up. Once you got to Off the Grid, and then hearing Cuddy actually back on the album, you thought he was taking off. He was back on there. Um, Love Lil Yachty's verse had an absolute banger on there. I fuck with Roddy Rich. He had some good verses on there as well. Um, just gonna keep continuing listen throughout. It's gonna take me about like 2 or 3 listens so I know like my solidified opinion. But I mean, I think the expectations were extremely high. I don't know if they're gonna be met because it's just an ungodly amount of expectation. But a good album so far. Not probably not his top work of ever, but we'll know in the next couple of weeks when we start to hear the songs a little bit more. But Carson.
Yeah, for sure. It's the best album since Life of Pablo. And I looked on Twitter. Like, I love going on Twitter, like, on album releases and, like, seeing, like, everyone, what everyone's talking about. And, like, that's what a lot of people have been saying. It's, like, it's really, like, Life of Pablo, like, the same kind of style with, like Jesus is King themes, which I think is, like, a perfect way to put it. But, yeah, I mean, I got impatient. I listened to all the leaks and, like, the listening parties and stuff. So it was – yeah, not everything wasn't too much of a surprise, but it was just like awesome, like finally hearing it like on my phone, like finally, like with like clear audio. So Hurricane's great, Praise God is great. Baby Keem had a fantastic weekend.
Baby Keem.
He's going off. He had a great verse. I thought he sounds so much like Kendrick. Like the whole like Orange Soda obviously was like a super popular song. And like his voice just sounds so different there. But to hear like the way he talks in Family Ties, and then to hear how he went off in the Donda album, he's got a good future ahead of him. He's gonna have a great. I don't know if he's had a debut album yet, or I mean, his next album is definitely gonna be one. It's gonna get a lot more features on there. It's gonna be a good one.
Yeah.
Melodic Blue is coming soon. I don't know if it's technically his debut album or not. I don't know if Die for My Bitch was an LP or an album, but. Dude, Baby Keem is a generational talent, beat making wise and rapping wise. That dude is a beast. Cardi was fantastic. It was like a mix of like Prime and like Vamp Cardi. It was fantastic. The instrumentals were crazy. The production off the charts. And yeah, definitely my favorite Kanye project since Pablo for sure. Like Kanye, it was worth the wait, 100%. Because every song so far has been like really, really good. A lot of filler though. There's a lot of filled time for sure. Like just a lot of like slow, long outros. Which I mean, I that's not for me, but I know like some other people probably love that stuff. But dude, it's been fantastic so far. And yeah, you said Yachty. Man, I heard Yachty on I forgot what track it is, but I heard Yachty. I'm like, oh my gosh, like I haven't heard Yachty rap like this in a while. And Yachty,
I took a double take.
Yachty the last couple of years has been on some shit, bro. Yachty, like people like started hating on Yachty like a few years ago because like, oh, it's so corny, it's not good anymore. Like, no. Yachty's so good. Like, just wait on him. And like his last few projects have been like and few songs have been really solid.
No, I was like listening. I'm like, that's Yachty, right? And then I go check. It was okay. That was the song it was. And I was like, I checked the thing on Genius. I'm like, that was Yachty singing there. I was like, holy hell, that was fire. But
shout out Vivio Foreign. He rapped his ass off.
Yeah, I don't know.
But we'll move on.
I don't like the black. I feel like that's kind of lazy.
It's Kanye. He'll change it. He added a song already on today.
We got the music. So. We got the music, so.
Okay, wait. Next question comes from our boy, Chase.
Hey, shout out 3-1 victory in his first collegiate soccer game. That's my boy.
Shout out to Chase.
Hey, okay.
In honor of draft day today, what's the biggest fantasy bust for this year? And I think Mr. Perennial bust, for sure. OBJ. I'm definitely not taking Saquon.
I see that.
Yeah, I won't be taking Saquon either. I think Mixon is also set. Mixon has been like hit or miss the last like few years too, so I definitely could like it will not surprise me at all if Mixon like either gets injured or just struggles because his O-line's terrible. Who else? I think I'm not high on Sanders or Montgomery at all. I will not be drafting them. I won't be drafting Chris Carson. I'm not doing that again. Man, who else? I don't know. I like a lot of the guys. Maybe like I guess I could see Kamara. The sole fact that just like Kamara had such an amazing year last year, and it's like going to be so hard to like repeat that. If like he can get close and still put up a fantastic season, but I don't know. Just it feels like for some reason like every time a running back gets like a number one overall season, like the next season it's like they either get injured or they don't do as well. Like look at McCaffrey. McCaffrey had like a godly year 2 years ago, and then this year he got injured. Yeah. And he was good when he played. I don't know. Just Kamara, maybe. But let's see who else. Taylor, maybe. Jonathan Taylor could have some busts just because, it was just a weird season last year. So it's we'll see if he actually gets like that bell cow work that we've all been hoping for. I don't know. Who else do you guys have? I don't think Najee's going to be a bust, though. I'm all in on Najee Harris.
So I got to come out and say this. I was riding the Travis Etienne hype train. You guys have known I've been on that entirely. Obviously, he's out for the season. The new guy I'm riding this hype train of is Antonio Gibson. He's not going to be a bust. But we'll get that out of the way real quick.
He will not be a bust. I love Gibson this year, too.
But I got two guys. I don't think they're going to be busts, but they're going to perform way below their ADP. Hot takes here. It's going to be Derrick Henry. It's going to be Travis Kelce. I think Travis Kelce is not going to finish at the number one tight end position. I believe that's going to be Darren Waller this year. I also think you're going to see huge jumps in guys like TJ Hawkinson. I think Mark Andrews is going to get a lot of work being a huge receiver on that team. And some huge news coming out. We'll get to that in a minute. Out of Baltimore this last night. Also, in terms of Derrick Henry, the running backs that have rushed for 2,000 yards in the season have seen an extreme decline of almost half of their workload being cut in half from the next season. They added Julio Jones. I don't know if Julio Jones is going to be that prime Julio Jones, but he's at least going to be an 800-yard guy, depending on how many games he plays. And you got A.J. Brown taking an ascendant. I think Derrick Henry's going to fall out of that top 6 running back rankings. If you're drafting tonight, don't know if anyone is watching that's drafted in our draft tonight. I'd honestly, I'm fading Derrick Henry. I love him, but he's a safe pick at the end of the first round, in my opinion. I don't think he's got the ability to match what he did last season at a historic pace. I honestly want to see it for him, but I don't think it's going to happen this year.
Dude, that's why I'm worried, because literally in our draft tonight, I have the 4th pick. So it's going to go CMC, Cook, and Kamara, and I'm going to be stuck there with most likely Henry, and I'm like, okay, like it's Derrick Henry, like it's King Henry, blah, blah, but I kind of feel the same way. I just have like a bad feeling about it somehow, but then it's like, I don't know who else I'm going to take. Like, I don't really want to take Zeke at 4, even though I think Zeke's going to have a good year.
Take Zeke.
Dude, okay, but there's no way they're not going to cut Henry's snap or like carries in half. There's
He's going to get like,
no.
He's going to get like 1,300 yards, though. Or like, actually probably 1,400 because there's an extra game. I think he's not going to have a ridiculous season. I think it's going to be a huge, heavy offense in terms of the pass game because they can't run this guy into the ground. Derrick Henry's not going to be able to be a running back in 3 years if they keep going the rate he's going.
The thing is, like, last year he probably faced the most stacked boxes than anyone in the league. And this year, teams can't do that. They cannot, put 4 or 5 linebackers out there because now you've got 2 elite wide receivers on the outside.
Godly receivers.
Yeah. So
Jose sold me back on Derrick Henry. I'm back in.
The thing is, like, a couple years ago, his yards per carry was pretty bad. Like, he was pretty inefficient on the ground despite getting a ton of work, which I really don't want to see him revert back to. But I don't know. I think he's figured it out, and I don't think he's gonna lose it.
He's a good standard player. PPR scares me. That's all I gotta say.
Well, who else? Who else are my options? Zeke.
I'd take Eckler at 4.
Eckler at 4. What about Chubb at 4?
Zeke is a better Chubb.
I'd take Zeke.
Hmm.
I'd probably go Zeke and then Chubb and then maybe I'd probably go Zeke, Chubb, and then honestly, that might honestly trade out. Be bold tonight. Trade out.
Trade out. No one's gonna want to trade except Chan.
You can get someone. You can get someone to finesse.
Trade out. Ooh, good point.
Trade out.
Do we have any trades so far?
No, but you can get working on it.
You want to trade 4 for my second round pick?
Well, I'm gonna need a first round pick.
You want to trade 4 for 9?
No, trade Carson. Trade 4 for Sahib's back-to-back pick. I mean, back-to-back picks.
Is Sahib first overall?
Yes, traded for Sahib's back-to-back picks in the second and third for like your fifth. Your first and your fifth for his second and third.
Yeah, but then like I'm not picking till like 20 and 21.
Trust me, you're gonna get if you get 2 first, second round picks, you can get some good guys.
I'll have to weigh out my options. I'll have to think about it pre-draft because I like being able to get like a guy like Henry or Zeke, and then like I like the like late second round because like either the running back options or I'm guaranteed like a really, really good receiver.
Yeah. Speaking of receivers, who would you take first out of CD, DK, Justin Jefferson, or AJ Brown?
DK Metcalf. I think he's got a prime poised season next for him. I don't know if the running game is going to work a lot in Seattle, and they're going to look to him make a huge difference. One of the most physically dominant receivers since Leo Jones. He's going to do something crazy.
Yeah.
Same. I think I'd go DK too because DK was like super consistent last year. Like DK like was literally like a walking like 15 to 20 points like every game. I think I'd rather like take that like super, super high floor who also has like an insane ceiling over. I mean like Jefferson's like, pretty solid, like safe too. But I think I'd go DK Jefferson, CD, AJ Brown.
The thing with DK is he's probably the biggest touchdown threat out of any of these guys because he's lining up on
AJ
on
Brown.
the goal line. Dude, the thing is they're like doubling, tripling DK, and he's still getting touchdowns at the goal line.
It's true.
Like Henry's gonna get more goal line work than AJ Brown.
People are sleeping on Justin Jefferson though. If he's there in the third round, jump on him because I think he can fall.
Easy.
But I'm taking Calvin Ridley over all 4 of those guys.
Facts.
Yeah, that's valid.
Joe Mixon.
What about Diggs and Hopkins? Sorry, Jose, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Would you take Diggs and Hopkins go over all those guys, right?
Yeah.
Okay, just checking.
I'm not really targeting either of them though.
Mm-hmm. Not enough upside.
No, I'm not going to target them, but if they fall in like my second round pick, I'm like, dude, say less. Like, you're getting big.
Yeah, fact. But Joe Mixon or James Robinson?
Robinson. We saw what he did last year in a worse offense, in a worse scheme. He's going to be a lot better. I think Carlos Hyde's going to get some touches, but Robinson's backfield no matter what.
Yeah.
Their O-line is not much better than the Bengals, though.
Yeah,
it's not bad. They got Brandon Linder, Andrew Norwell, Cam Robinson locked up. They got some decent guys. It's better than the Bengals.
Yeah, it's all right. It's not terrible.
It's not. It's a bottom like 16 unit, but it's not bad.
Yeah, I'd take Robinson too. Dude, Robinson every game last year finished double digits at least.
Yeah, he was like RB6, RB7 in PPR.
He was RB4 for a good chunk.
Yeah,
and now he's going what? Like he's going third, fourth round. His ADP is what, like
way
30?
Later. Way later. He's not going to show up high on our draft board today because that's how ESPN has him right now.
Chan's going to take him though. I feel like.
Don't let him.
Fuck it, James Robinson at 4.
Fuck it. I mean, shit. Last year he played like a fucking first round pick.
Yeah. And with no ETN, he's going to get the pass catching work too.
Go ahead, take him. Aaron Jones, who are you taking over him?
Ooh.
Am I taking over him?
Yeah.
Let's
Carson,
run through it. Okay, so Aaron Jones is someone that like literally gets talked about. He never gets talked about, even though he's finished top 5 the last couple of seasons. And Rodgers is coming back. And I mean, I get that people worry about AJ Dillon, but like, are you really worried about him that much? Like, are you really worried about that? Like, they're not going to split carries. Like, it shouldn't be a committee. Like, it should be Jones at least like 75% of the time.
Yeah. The thing
So
is,
I think
like,
I'd take
they can't split more than Jamal Williams.
exactly. So I take CMC, Cook, Kamara, probably Henry, Zeke,
Eckler,
and then
Devontae Adams, Tyreek, Nick Chubb.
well, let's just do running backs first. We'll do running backs.
Yeah.
What running backs would you take over Jones?
I would take Nick Chubb, Eckler, Elliott, Henry, Kamara, Cook, McCaffrey. And honestly, yeah, that might be it. Gibson's close. That's about it.
Yeah, if Jones and Gibson are both on the board at the same time, like that would be, I would take like all the time to like figure that out. That'd be really tough.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think Jones probably be 8.
Yeah, he's around there.
But I mean, you can argue Jones over a couple of those guys. So like, you can maybe argue Jones over Chubb. Yeah, over Zeke.
Yeah, I'm taking Jones
Henry,
over Barkley.
Oh, I didn't even put Barkley on that list.
Yeah, Jones has to go over Barkley. Sorry. And Taylor.
Honestly, if Barkley's there at 9, should I take him?
Dude, honestly, Barkley's like out of all the running backs in the first round, like, dude.
He's definitely riskiest, but like, what if he pops off? What if this is the year that he just absolutely takes the league by storm?
He is physically extremely dominant. I think he could be. We might be overhating him a little. I could see that.
Yeah, I would take him like if I had like back-to-back pick. If I had like the 10-11, like like back-to-back, I would probably like I would be comfortable taking Saquon at 10. And then like I would take like a safe run, like I would take like a Jones or a Chubb, right next to him, like a pretty safe option. Because yeah, Saquon's upside is ridiculous.
It's top 3.
Yeah, and I mean, if anyone's gonna come back from an ACL injury, like full, like 100% head of steam, it's Barkley because he's just like the elite of elite when it comes to athleticism, and so I wouldn't put it past him to come back. Like, I mean, just the fact that he's like taking it, like he's making like the Adrian Peterson comparisons and stuff about like coming back from his ACL, and, like Adrian Peterson like helped him. I'm just like, that's too juicy. Like that just like I still have like ooh, like that's where I'm like, okay, Saquon, like it kind of won me over. But yeah, I'd take him at 10 or maybe 9. I mean, yeah, you said 9. I'd be comfortable with him at 9. 9 would be the earliest, though, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
We got another question from Chase. It says, is Nick Castellanos the luckiest or unluckiest baseball player ever? Dude hits home runs at the worst possible times. Hey, last night, they got diced up by Sandy Alcantara. He threw 12 Ks. Yeah, 12 Ks. Shout out to Miami boys. That dude's nasty. The Reds, I think Votto struck out twice. Castellanos struck out, reaching it for a slider. It was disgusting, but
he's unlucky.
Yeah,
he's a great player, extremely underrated. Had a totally obviously all-star season and everything. But I mean, the memes are just ridiculous. It's like woman and like child like kidnapped, and it's like a tweet, and then it's like right out, it's like Castellanos' 23rd home run of the season.
Yeah, those are so funny, bro. I'm just like, I see those all the time, all over my timeline.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think the meme's funny. Like, it's just funny to associate with him because he's a pretty charismatic guy. So,
yeah,
probably doesn't get to him that much.
And it's so random that it's Castellanos. Like,
yeah, it's not like
recently. I mean, he was originally on the Tigers. Somehow ended up on the Cubs. Now he's on the Reds.
Castellanos is like, he puts up like star numbers, but he doesn't really like get treated like a star.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But forever a meme of this year, top meme of the year in baseball.
Yeah, favorite baseball meme of the year.
Final question. Going into next season, do you see Shohei Ohtani or Mike Trout as the better player for the Angels? I don't know.
Really?
I think I've got to go Ohtani.
Yeah, it's hard. Obviously, you got bias is going to judge you no matter what, but the stuff you're seeing out of Ohtani, you've never seen out of anyone before. I mean, Mike Trout, a crazy, one of the best probably the best 5-tool player in the MLB. It's not really eye-opening crazy to see what he's doing right now. I can see Ohtani going on a run, what Mike Trout did, finishing top 3 in MVP in all these seasons. He's going to win it this year. If you want to get free cash, put your money on him right now to win the AL MVP. He could not finish the season. He'd still win it right now. But I think it's going to be hard for Mike Trout. Mike Trout's going to have to have an MVP season next year to contend with what Ohtani's been up to.
The thing is, Ohtani is probably just as valuable of a hitter as Trout, and also the best pitcher they've had probably since Nolan Ryan. He is the ace they've been looking for.
Hey, no disrespect to Jerry Weaver though. Long out Jerry Weaver, but
yeah. But I mean, dude, Ohtani's like top 5 in Cy Young, and he's the best hitter in the AL. Like, what more do you
40
want?
steals, 40-20. That's ridiculous.
It's nuts.
He's top 10 in steals, and he plays pitcher.
Yeah, he's literally.
I know it's really hard to like be better than someone that hits like that is a 5-tool. He's like one of the best defensive players in the league and also one of the best offensive players in the league, and Mike Trout, and he just does it consistently, always shows up, and it's like super hard to like match that, but like it's Ohtani, and he is, because like it's really like it's like what do you value more, like Trout's defense in the outfield or Ohtani's ability to pitch? And I think definitely for the Angels, considering how their roster's constructed, definitely the pitching is probably a lot more important for them. So yeah, it's definitely, if I'm taking one, I'm taking Ohtani, but the fact that they're both going to be like playing together at some point, hopefully, I'm pretty sure soon, right? Or is Trout's not already back, right?
Honestly, I wouldn't even.
Don't play Trout at all. Yeah, don't play Trout this season. It's not worth it.
Yeah, but just come back next year, 2022. Recruit some free agents. I know a bunch of people probably want to play for Ohtani. It's LA. It's going to be super exciting to see both of them, like two generational athletes together.
Yeah,
you got Ohtani. Your DH, your pitcher. You got Jared Walsh, who's having an extremely great season as a rookie. Anthony Rendon. Hopefully, he comes back next season playing like the player that he was in Washington. Obviously, you got Trout out there. You got some prospects in Joe Adell. You got Brandon Marsh. Justin Upton's still a solid MLB player. They drafted 27 pitchers in the MLB draft. Hopefully, they get some other guys in the farm coming up soon, because that's a big weakness for them. They have a good closer in Raciel Iglesias.
Which I don't know why they didn't trade him at the deadline, because he's literally not playing for anything. They could have got so many pieces in return for him.
Yeah,
I want them to make the playoffs more than ever next season if both those guys are healthy, and Trout and Ohtani.
Yeah.
Oh, if they make the playoffs, I'm there. I'm going.
You gotta support them.
I'm in those. Yeah, I mean, hopefully, like over free agency, they could recruit a nice pitcher coming in to help the staff. But yeah, it's crazy. I mean, like you mentioned Upton, dude. If Upton could be like their 7th hitter, and Upton as like your 7th hitter is like
power
decent.
guy.
Yeah, solid, decent power guy. He's getting up there in age, but yeah, man, they're next year hopefully should be the year. And Ohtani's only what, 28, 27?
27. Which, like, I was thinking about this yesterday. It's kind of crazy how old sometimes baseball players make their debut. They will spend so many years in the minors, meanwhile we've got other sports like basketball and football, dudes making their debut at like 19, 20, 21, and then we got Patrick Wisdom as a rookie that's 28 years old. Mike Yastrzemski making his rookie debut at 27. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah. I know people. Yeah, there's a lot of different paths to get to the majors. And I think that's what makes like guys like Tatis and Acuna Jr. and like Vlad Guerrero like so special. Just Soto, like guys that come in at like 19, 20, 21 years old in baseball. It's like ridiculous. It just is so impressive. Just because, like you said, like there's so many guys that it takes years and years to make it, and then these guys are like coming in and they're already producing right away as like kids, like literally kids.
Yeah. I think Manny Machado was the youngest player I can remember. He was 19 when he made his debut for the Orioles. I think he played like he probably played less than a season in the minors.
I forgot how long ago he used to play for the Orioles. That's crazy.
Yeah,
they were pretty decent.
Yeah, Machado's been in the league for like a decade now,
and he's pretty underrated. Like I think he's going pretty underrated as like a player because Tatis takes all the shine out there in San Diego.
Yeah,
I think he likes that though. I don't think he's like really into being, the media all being around him and shit, like being the
playing in Baltimore.
I think he likes kind of that villain like sidekick role. Not sidekick, but like that secondary like type.
He plays it well.
Yeah. I like Machado. Machado is like one of the most special defensive players I've ever seen. Like what Machado can do on the field, like is ridiculous. There's some plays he's made I've never seen anyone even come close to making.
Yeah. I mean, they
like that one play, dude. That one play at Yankee Stadium, where like he's like going towards the foul line, he like backhands it, bobbles the ball, picks it up, and throws a dart while going away from first base. And it's on the money, like a strike. It's like coming in at like 100 miles an hour. That's like defies physics. That play like stands out to me so much. It's like, oh my God.
Classic Machado play that I always think of is like him going towards third baseline, getting something in foul territory, and then still gunning the dude out. Even if he's fast, like his arm is that crazy strong.
Literally going away from first base. He's going the opposite direction.
It's like the equivalent of like a fadeaway shot.
Yeah, a fadeaway shot from like 40 feet.
It's like if Derek Jeter was actually good at defense.
Whoa. Whoa.
Okay. Derek Jeter's not good at defense. Statistically, he's the worst defender in MLB history.
No way.
A lot of people,
yes, he is.
A lot of people like to talk about the Jeter throw, but now literally every starting shortstop can make that throw.
Carson, when we end the podcast, you can look it up. He is statistically the worst defender in MLB history.
Why does he have 5 gold gloves?
All overrated. It's all the media.
The media was the media bugging?
I'll find the media. I'll find the video for you.
Where are his errors?
We're gonna have to hit up Foolish Baseball. Make a video on this.
Dude, okay, standard fielding. Errors. 22, 18, 14, 24.
Look at Tatis, bro. He's leading the league in errors.
Dude, okay, but no way he's the worst defensive shortstop ever. Okay, maybe because the dude played like so many goddamn seasons. He has so much volume. Like
he's not like elite by any sort of matter. He's average.
I don't think he's
sure. Okay, you should have started with that. That's what you should have said from the jump. That he's just average. I would have been like,
no. But
fair.
there's like
that's super fair.
There's like I watched a video. It's like there's like a volume stat that like he is statistically the worst at it in MLB history because
he's played.
I gotta find the video. I'll find the video. I'll plug it in the description. I'll plug it in the description for everyone watching right now.
All right.
I would love to dive into that. I can no way the worst ever. For how long he's played, because there's barely been anyone that's played as long as he has.
Yeah, I mean Cal Ripken probably.
Cal Ripken, maybe Pascal. Pascal played for a long time.
Bartolo.
Chase Utley.
Bartolo's the best fielder of all time, statistically.
Best hitter too, but it's all good.
Best hitter statistically of all time.
Not sleeping on Yerman Mercedes. Anyways, that's gonna do it for today's episode. Thank you to everybody that put in questions. Tonight's our fantasy draft day. Johnny Manziel. 5 years later, how am I the man still?
Man, still.
Peace out. Take care.
Bars.